In this video, we'll be looking at the two remaining electrophilic aromatic substitution reactions, that is Friedel-Crafts acylation and Friedel-Crafts alkylation of benzene. So let's get started with that. Before we begin with the reaction and the mechanism, and before I explain to you everything, let's first try to understand what is acyl. Okay, what is an acyl group? Okay, as we are aware, C double bond O. Okay, so C double bond O looks like a man with a head and the body. Head as an oxygen, the body with C double bond O. It kind of looks like that. It depends upon how creative you are with your thinking. But coming back to chemistry, C double bond O group as such is called as a carbonyl group. Okay, it is called as carbonyl group. There are a lot of functional groups which have this carbonyl group in it. We'll be looking at in a separate video. For now, let's try to see what is this acyl group. Now we have established what exactly a carbonyl group is. It is C double bond O with two valencies of carbon being attached to other species. Now if one of the ends is attached to an alkyl group, this C I have depicted in the form of a corner here. If it is attached to an alkyl group, then this entire group is what we call as the acyl group. Okay, it doesn't matter what is there here, so I will just put a dash, the wavy line here. So here it can be anything, but if on one end I have an alkyl group, then that carbonyl group with the alkyl group is called as an acyl group. Okay, so we'll be putting this acyl group, C double bond O and an alkyl chain or whatever is there after this, onto a benzene ring, and we'll see how that happens. So let's start with the general reaction. You have benzene reacting with an acyl chloride. Okay, so acyl chlorides are the best acyl group generators. So basically acyl group sources, I would say. So the best source of acyl group is acyl chloride. Okay, so as you can, I'll just put right here CH3. Okay, so this is alkyl group attached to C double bond O. So this is the acyl group which we need to put on the benzene ring. The best source for it is an acyl chloride. Okay, our reagents are AlCl3 and H2O. This means that first we add AlCl3, do the reaction, and then after that we add H2O. Why we do it, we'll be looking at it in the mechanism section. So what we get here is a compound which looks something like this. The common name for this compound is acetophenone. Alright, so and let's just try to see what is this compound. This compound is called as methanoyl chloride. Okay, methanoyl chloride, and it's also called as acyl chloride. Okay, so for now we'll just call it as acyl chloride. We won't get into the names of it as such. We'll just call it as an acyl chloride with a methyl group. Okay, because when we are going to do some examples that time, giving nomenclatures is not really the scope of the video, so we will just stick to some common names, basic names of reagents. Alright, so acyl chloride is the source for acyl group. As you can see, this CH3 is attached to the benzene ring. As you can see, I have not written CH3 here. Why? Because this terminal end represents CH3. Okay, now let's have a look at the mechanism. Now mechanism is not that difficult. As usual, the first step is what we call as the electrophile generation step. So I have this acyl group here. I'll write CH3 for convenience sake. This acyl chloride in the presence of AlCl3. Okay, what happens is this chlorine gets picked up by AlCl3. Okay, now AlCl3, what is it called? AlCl3 is a Lewis acid. Okay, so Lewis acids, they are electron pair acceptors. So it has an electron pair here with chlorine. So aluminum will pick up this lone pair from chlorine, right? And you will have a structure which looks something like this. Okay, so aluminum will have the excess electron right now. Now since chlorine is positively charged, what will happen is this bond will break, this chlorine will go away with AlCl3, and you have an acylium ion. Sorry, you will have an acylium ion here. Okay, I just made a mistake. I'll just draw the arrow down. You will have the acylium ion generated. Okay, so as I said, a carbonyl group with CH3 on it, or an alkyl group with it, is called as an acyl group. That is what we established here. So you have an acyl group here. Now this acyl group will react with benzene. Okay, so that step, that mechanism is similar to how we did in the last three cases. So this acyl group will undergo this acyl group will substitute the hydrogen on this benzene ring, and you will get acetophenone. But there is a slight problem here. Now this here, as you can see, the byproduct of this reaction, I'll just write it in a different color, will be AlCl4 minus. Okay, and the hydrogen removed from this benzene will be picked up by one of the chlorines here. Okay, so what we are having in the reaction mixture then, if one chlorine leaves from here, you have AlCl3 again in the reaction mixture. Now if you look at this compound here, in this molecule, oxygen has a lone pair. So aluminum, it won't distinguish between chlorine lone pair and oxygen lone pair. If a lone pairs are there, aluminum chloride will attack it. So this aluminum chloride will attack the oxygen of the carbonyl in this group. And you will have a situation something like this: AlCl3 with a negative charge on aluminum, and this is the positive charge on oxygen. Alright, so now how do we come out of this crisis? Okay, so this is not really what we want. This is an aluminum complex that we have. So we add water here. Alright, so when you add water, this aluminum chloride will sever its bonds from AlCl3, and you will essentially get acetophenone straight away. Okay, now what is the outcome of this? Outcome of this, you will have aluminum hydroxide. So you will have aluminum hydroxide plus 3 times HCl. Okay, aluminum hydroxide and 3 times HCl. Now how does this happen? Let's just quickly look at that. You have so I hope this mechanism is clear for everybody. You all can pause the video, go through the steps. Now I'll just show you how this aluminum hydroxide is generated. Okay, so you have AlCl3 here, okay, with an excess negative charge due to the bonds, due to the bonding that has been formed with oxygen. Okay, now I'm not showing that part, but the moment you add water, 3 parts of water, it will be picked up. Okay, so what actually happens here is you have aluminum Cl, 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 and then you have 3 parts of water, which I'll just write it in this format so that it becomes easy for us to understand. Okay, so now just follow the arrows which I do here. Now chlorine will leave with its electron. This proton will leave the electron to the OH group. This chlorine will pick up this hydrogen and it will form HCl. Okay, now there is negative charge on this oxygen, it will be picked up by aluminium. So aluminium favors oxygen over chlorine. Okay, same case will happen here, same thing. Okay, these electrons, they jump, sit on OH. This chlorine will pick up this hydrogen in the form of proton. This oxygen will come and attack this aluminium. So now you have Al, OH, OH, 2 OHs. You will get the third one from here. Okay, same story. So as you can see, it's a double-edged arrow. Double-edged arrow means both the electrons are moving. Okay, so that's how you get aluminium AlOH3 thrice. Okay, OH, 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 3 OH, they come and sit here, and then you have 3 molecules or 3 parts of HCl released from this reaction mixture. So I hope you've understood this part, why H2O is absolutely necessary in this reaction, because aluminium forms a complex with the newly formed compound, where aluminium attaches itself with the oxygen of the carbonyl. So with the addition of water, aluminium will get rid of almost everything just to form aluminium hydroxide. Okay, so this is the general reaction. Now we'll move to the next reaction. It is Friedel-Crafts alkylation of benzene. So don't worry, we'll be of course discussing some examples. First we'll try to understand the reactions. So before we get into Friedel-Crafts alkylation, we have to first study something about carbocations. Okay. Carbocations are species where the carbon has got a positive charge. Okay, so if a carbon has got a positive charge, then it is called as a carbocation. Okay, so how are carbocations created? So carbon atoms, they have 4 valencies, so they are bonded to 4 species. If one of the species decides to take up both the electrons which are involved in covalent bonding, carbon atom will fall 1 electron short. So 1 electron short means there is 1 extra positive charge on that atom, hence there is a positive charge on that atom, which we call as carbocation. 2 kinds of carbocations you will have, as I have shown here. This is CH2, so this is a N-propyl carbocation. Here as you can see, this carbon atom is attached to only 1. Now I am talking about this carbon atom. This is the special one, correct? This is the special carbon with a positive charge. Now this carbocation is attached to 1 carbon, so that is why we call this as a primary carbocation. This is the skeletal form. Then you have the secondary carbocation here. Why? Because it is attached to 2 carbon atoms. This is the skeletal diagram. At any point of time you can pause the video and do a self-analysis, then you can rerun the video just to check if you are correct. Now here this carbon atom is a tertiary carbocation because you have 3 carbon atoms attached to this carbon. Okay, this is the special one. This is the site that we are involved, we are more interested in. And this is the skeletal structure of it, this molecule. Now just I won't get into the theory for now. You just try to remember this thing, that tertiary carbocations are more stable than secondary carbocation, and secondary carbocation is more stable than primary. So this less than signs I have used so that you get an overall picture on which carbocation is more stable. Alright, a quaternary carbocation is not possible. Alright, quaternary carbons are carbons attached to 4 different carbon atoms, so there a quaternary carbocation is out of question. Now let's get into Friedel-Crafts alkylation of benzene. Okay, so we'll get into this general reaction here. So you have benzene, a methyl and alkyl chloride. So as I said, we are just going to use some common names for now until we learn some IUPAC naming systems, and then we will of course name each and every reagent after that. So benzene with alkyl chloride forms toluene. Okay, so you have this CH3 group which is obtained from this alkyl chloride and AlCl with the help of AlCl3. So here AlCl3 again is a Lewis acid. AlCl3 is again a Lewis acid. So the story is the same, only thing is you do not have a carbonyl group here. So this chlorine is the lone pairs of chlorine picked up by aluminum chloride. It forms a complex. Then it releases this carbocation. This carbocation later substitutes the hydrogen on the benzene ring to form toluene. Now this is a special kind of a carbocation. It is called as a primitive carbocation because this carbon is not attached to any carbon atom. So that is why it is called as primitive. If it was attached to 1, then we would call it as primary carbocation. So I hope this part is clear. Now there are some complications with this reaction, it's quite straightforward. There is nothing difficult. But now let's look at a reaction where there are some complications involved. All right. Okay. Now we have benzene ring here, and we have this alkyl chloride here. To be precise, this is propyl chloride reacting with AlCl3. Now this is the compound that we expect, correct? Now here chlorine is attached to this carbon atom, so obviously this bond will break. This carbon will be the carbocation, correct? Will become a carbocation when this electron goes with chlorine. So this carbon should essentially attack this carbon here on the benzene ring, and it should give us this product, but no, it doesn't. As you can see, I put a cross here. This is not what you get. This is the structure that you get. So chlorine has left from this carbon, but it is this carbon who is attached to the ring. Now, how did that happen? Okay, let's have a quick look at the mechanism, and it has everything to do with the carbocation stabilities here, which I had discussed. Okay, so tertiary is more stable than secondary. Secondary is more stable than primary, but less stable than tertiary. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, so now let's get to the mechanism. So the first step is very much clear and evident. AlCl3 getting attached itself to chlorine, and chlorine of course leaves with AlCl3 with the lone pairs, with the sigma bonding electrons. So this carbon is left with a positive charge. Okay, just follow the pointer that I'm showing on the screen. Don't get disturbed with what is there on the other side. Now you have this carbon atom here with the positive charge. Now this carbon atom is a primary carbocation because it is attached to one carbon. Okay. Now when you look at the other carbon atoms, let's just hypothetically say that this positive charge can move here. If it moves here, what kind of carbocation you will get? Primary. If it moves here, if this positive charge moves here by some way, then what kind of carbocation will I get? Secondary, that I have shown here. Okay. So primary is the same, secondary is different than this carbocation which I have drawn here. So I have drawn two carbocations which are possible. Okay. Now we are not concerned. I mean, for now we are not concerned as to how that has happened. Now if you compare this primary and secondary carbocation, it shouldn't be that difficult for you to identify which carbocation will be stable. It is actually the secondary one which will be stable. Alright. Now how can I get a secondary carbocation? Now if you look here, this carbon next to the carbocation has a hydrogen. Okay, so what it will do is it will push the hydrogen out in the form of hydride. Okay, I'll explain to you what is a hydride, don't worry. This hydride comes and sits on this carbon. Now here both the electrons left with hydrogen, so this carbon will be left with a positive charge. So this hydride, which is negative, comes and sits here, it neutralizes the charge here, so you get a carbocation here. What is a hydride? Hydride is a hydrogen atom with one extra electron. Okay, hydrogen with one extra electron is called as hydride. Hydrogen atom with one electron less is called as a proton. So these two are two different species. This looks like an electrophile, this looks like a nucleophile. Okay, just for those who understand electrophile, nucleophile terminologies in detail. Okay, so I hope you understood how this positive charge moved from here to here. Okay, it moved from here to here, as you can see here. Secondary is more stable, that is why it moved. How did it move? In this secondary position, there is a hydrogen, so this hydrogen will leave with the electrons and it will come and sit here. So when it leaves with the electrons, it leaves behind positive charge. So you get a secondary carbocation. So this is the electrophile which will go ahead and react with benzene. So this is exclusively the product which you get. This is not the product that you get. Now that begs the question then, how can I prepare a compound of this sort? Okay, with Friedel-Crafts alkylation, it is impossible to prepare a compound like this. You will always get an isopropyl group. Okay, this group is called as an isopropyl group. Propyl because they have 3 carbon atoms. This group here is called as N-propyl. Okay, so I'll just write here N-propyl. This is isopropyl. Okay, so isopropyl group means 3 carbon atoms. N-propyl group, again 3 carbon atoms, but it's a straight chain. This is a branch. Okay, so then how do we prepare this N-propyl or N-alkyl chain? How do we attach an N-alkyl chain to an benzene ring without rearrangement? Okay, this is called as rearrangement. The name of that rearrangement is called as 1,2 hydride shift. Okay, so without this hydride shift, without these arrangements, how can I put an N-alkyl chain to a benzene ring? Because you take any N-alkyl chain, you will of course generate a primary carbocation, but the next carbon atom is secondary, so it will shift, this positive charge will shift to the secondary side, and you will always get a branched chain. You will always get an iso group on benzene ring with Friedel-Crafts alkylation. But there is a way to prepare an N-alkyl, there is a way to put an N-alkyl chain on benzene, and we are going to look at those examples in a later video. Okay, now we will be learning 2 new reactions there, and then we will move on to some other classes of reactions. Now on those reactions we will not strictly look at the mechanisms, we will mostly look at how those reactions work and how are they useful, how do we identify and how do we use them. Okay, so I hope this discussion in the video is clear to you. Friedel-Crafts alkylation and acylation. Please pause the video, rewind the video, check, go back to the stuff which has been discussed, and in case if there are any points which are not clear, please get back to me. Thank you.